weird, it was in the picking up the things. Can you give me a, hell yeah?
Hell yeah!
Can you give me a, oh yeah?
Hi!
Alright. Now where's the money, Vac?
Uh, my wallet's kind of across the room.
Give me the money. And,
Also, my stream just caught up, and it is working.
yeah. Alright.
Okay.
Okay,
Hello,
real quick.
everyone.
Ignore all this. Bye! Thanks for True Believers. This is Modular Media's No Price Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, a boy writer Gaston, with me, as always, in the bullpen.
The man who says, fuck video games, we're talking about comics. The vacuum in it.
And you saw nothing! We are magic and mystery men. Look at me!
Yeah, let's use our Doctor Strange hand motions to wipe away the last
Wait, hold
5 minutes.
I remember this one, and then there's this one. I think there's...
I just know that he does Spider-Mans.
No, I'm doing Naruto.
Oh, yeah, Jutsu's shit.
Yeah. There's this one
Yeah,
D&D
my jam back in the
TikToker.
day.
There's this one D&D TikToker I follow, and he did he like slowed down the music so he could do all the things in the right way, but like sped up, it looks fucking badass.
Yeah, like that was the original fidget spinner, just trying to learn jutsus while you were doing other shit as a kid.
So how was your comic book week? You comic book man, you comic book?
It was pretty good, a little bit traumatic. I saw a spoiler that I thought was one context, it turned out to be another. We'll talk about that more later. But no, overall, I'd say it's been a solid week.
That's a good.
Yeah.
We got a lot of books to talk about. We got some news to talk about. So,
We're probably gonna be here pretty late tonight.
should we talk? Okay, it's not on the list, but should we talk about Chip and Dale? Well, after
That's
we
not
get,
comic.
it's nerdy adjacent, and and components is kind of stacked up, and not really a time to talk about it. At least, okay, we can at least mention Chip and Dale has a trailer out. I don't know how I feel about it. Some people are really excited for it.
It looks like Roger Rabbit by way of the new Space Jam.
Yeah, that's what it gets me. It's like, if it was just kind of Roger Rabbit-y, I'd be down for it. But it just feels a little too... like the jabs at Beowulf. Like, who the fuck remembers Beowulf?
I didn't even realize there were Beowulf jabs in there. That's how little anybody remembers Beowulf.
Okay, do you remember the movie Beowulf by Robert Zemeckis?
No.
Okay, so in his motion capture phase, Robert Zemeckis, the guy who wrote and who directed Back to the Future and Forrest Gump, made an adaptation of the classic myth poem Beowulf. Okay, and it's motion capture, all that kind of stuff. So it's a little plasticky. It's not the greatest thing. I thought it was a fine adaptation. I thought it was cool at the time. Angelina Jolie wears liquid gold.
Cool.
No, it's not to love. Seth Rogen is a medieval fantasy character who looks like a Beowulf character.
I thought that was just a World of Warcraft show.
It might be a WoW. To me, I just immediately went like, oh, Beowulf. Because for some reason, that's my...
Alright.
But also, this is like... another little thing that bothered me was the people who were still supposed to be 2D didn't move well. They were obviously 3D characters with a 2D shader. Like, Chip looked that way really hard.
I don't watch for that kind of shit, so...
Yeah, I'm not saying, whatever. I will hold my judgment, but I am not super jazzed.
I wonder if Sal and Ethan are going to talk about it.
I know Cody's excited. I know Snowcone is excited for it.
I mean, it seems like a Snowcone-ass film, doesn't it?
It's weird how it's, like... giant crossover thing can be both mine or a Snowcone thing. It just depends on how it's done.
Uh-huh.
Like, Ready Player One, the movie, because the movie's better than the book. The movie,
I refused to see the movie just because of how much I hated the book.
well, here's the thing. Like, from what I know about the movie, you know how in the book all the like challenges the guy has to go through are all like, do you know this random pop culture thing from the 80s?
Uh-huh.
In the movie, it's, hey, do you know actual life events about the guy who made the thing to actually be invested in the story of like why he left all this treasure and everything?
Mm.
Like, you actually have, like, the main character is actually invested in the man who left the treasure. It's not just, I know pop culture, so that makes me cool. It's, no, I've researched and followed this guy, and it's actually trying to accomplish a goal, and not just me going, I'm so cool.
Okay.
It's still a lot of...
Did they fix the highly problematic romance?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know they kept the trans character, because I think it was a trans character?
Yeah.
Or gender fluid of some kind?
It's not a trans character. His best friend, who he thinks is male, turns out to be a woman in real life, and he has a moment of like, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, fucking, but whatever. All I know is that everybody hates the sequel book.
I haven't touched the sequel. I read the book around the time the movie got announced, and I just remember that was back when I was listening to audiobooks like as a way of getting myself ready for bed. So there would be like these late night tweets of, "Oh my fucking god, I can't believe they did this. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, the Ultraman is such bullshit. What the fuck?"
I mean, here's the thing. We can all agree that visually the movie, putting all those things together, looked really cool.
It looked interesting.
The one thing I will always, reason why I don't like the movie, Iron Giant.
Yeah.
The character is a non-violent person, and to go, like, I don't know, it just feels weird. It goes against the original message of the Iron Giant movie.
Yeah. Brad Bird's probably rolling in his grave.
And on that note, we got... I missed my foot pedal. We got... By the way, this is run on that little thing, that's run on a foot pedal, folks.
I know, but just the way you did it that time, it looked like you were kicking your computer. Like, come on, work.
Come on, work, damn it. Ah, there we go.
My ship works when I kick it. That's a Cowboy Bebop reference.
So we got some television to talk about. We have the last episode of Peacemaker to talk about. Under.
I fucking love Super Sentai so much. Like, let's just cut to the fucking chase, because that beam sequence fight, that was literally just the opening fight from the first episode of every Sentai.
Yeah.
But, like, 10 times as gory, because James Gunn, and I was there for it.
Yeah. Under, do you think this was a satisfying end to the series so far? The season? Because we have a season 2. It's confirmed there's going to be a season 2.
Mm-hmm. I didn't expect it to be so open-ended, because I thought this was originally announced as a limited series, and like the push for season 2 was a bit of a surprising thing to me. But it's open-ended enough that I'm like, yeah, I feel like another season of this is warranted.
But the episode good?
Oh yeah, great episode, fantastic episode. A lot of really good little moments in there.
I think we need to talk about the dead racist in the room.
Yeah, because apparently, I didn't know this because I don't know shit about Peacemaker in comics, but apparently that's out of the 1980s 4-issue miniseries. That's the only thing DC had done after acquiring the Charlton characters with Peacemaker. That was like the only thing they'd done for the longest time until Gunn started working on the Suicide Squad.
I mean, out of all the Charlton characters, Peacemaker is the one that's like, what can we do? He's boring. He's not an interesting character.
And then James Gunn's like, hey.
Make him a dumbass.
Yeah.
Make him a tragic dumbass, a victim of child abuse, who has internalized it so much that he now feels the full brunt of guilt.
Mm-hmm. I do like how he's still standing up to his dad in the sequences, though. Like, when he starts going for his blowgun, and his dad's like, that's a bad choice. Why are you doing that? Because I don't want to alert the fucking butterflies, you asshole.
And I realize you're a dissociative psychotic episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was funny.
Yeah.
Though I also find that, like, the trauma in Peacemaker is so deep that he just starts hallucinating his racist dad.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you're stuck with me.
And which is also a really good bit of symbolism for, like, what trauma does to a person, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's also interesting that final shot you have on the screen, like, as that pulls out, you have, like, a bunch of different representations of various stages of death, because Peacemaker's middle-aged, his dad is a good ways dead, properly passed on by this point, you could say, and then Eagly drops a fucking freshly dead rodent into frame.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the fact of, like, it's a little hard to see, but Goff, the butterfly queen, is right there in the middle, and she's on her way to death because she doesn't have much food left. She's gonna starve.
Yeah, that might be her last bit of food in that shot, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, she's either dead or we see her die in the first couple scenes of the next season.
And I like the subtlety of it, because we'll talk about it in a minute, but, like, her being there just kind of was like, oh, that's, you know, there's a satisfaction with that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And should we get into the twist with the butterflies too? Because, like,
it's not really a twist. You could kind of see it coming.
Oh yeah, it makes sense after the fact. Like, you could have pieced it together, but I didn't see it coming, and it was like, oh.
I mean, Judo Master was there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the thing. And he was like, you don't understand what they're doing. And it's like, oh, okay, something's up. Like, they have an intention that's not being fully understood.
Mm-hmm. But no, that is a great, really powerful sequence, especially because it's like it's a really interesting moment, just because it's like he chooses to do the right thing, but is it the right thing?
It's a hard question, because ultimately the butterflies are basically saying, yo, we came here as refugees, we were just going to live out our days, then we saw you were making all the mistakes we made, and we wanted to prevent that, so we're just going to take over your leaders and lead you down a better path. Not the whole entire human race, just your leaders, which, you know, on one level, like, experience leading the inexperienced, sure, but, like, it should be our decisions to make. That there's that whole little ethical quandary.
Mm-hmm. It's also just, it led to, like, one of the best Reddit posts I've seen in a while, which was somebody in the Peacemaker subreddit saying, I should have known something was up the moment they said Goff was a senator that supported climate change. No alien race would be dumb enough to try and take over America by supporting climate change.
By supporting
yeah, fighting it, you know.
Yeah, fighting climate change, which totally is another big twist flag.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, they were always affable to the people they were working with, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now that you think about it, Murn's whole dialogue about, like, why he was against the butterflies wasn't necessarily, like, them taking over is wrong. It's they're taking control out of your hands.
Yeah, which is again another thing that's interesting because it doesn't necessarily make him bad, but it's like, do the ends justify the means is really the question we're left with here, and clearly Peacemaker has made his choice.
Yeah, but like there's levels of like listening to the butterfly that took over Mern talk about having to take control of someone. It's traumatic for him. It's like he
Hmm.
doesn't enjoy this. It's like, no, this is wrong. We shouldn't be removing these people's agency.
Yeah. It also makes me wonder about certain things, just like what is it like for a butterfly to do certain activities in these human bodies? Like that one that had sex with Peacemaker in the first episode, like well, she didn't have to do that for any reason. She was just there. So like what is up with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of little things of like ethical quandaries of like ultimately you could say, yeah, sure, the ends justify the means, they lead us to a better direction, but we didn't learn anything. We
Yeah,
didn't make the
no.
choice. We are, and as soon as the butterflies fuck off, we can immediately fall into those patterns again.
We've maintained the status quo, as it were, which is an interesting thing to play with when you're doing a friggin' superhero thing.
Yeah, but like, it's a really interesting mindset to have with the bad guy, especially because they're not trying to portray Peacemaker as a good superhero.
Mm.
They're trying he is a classical anti-hero,
Yeah?
which is always a protagonist who fights not for a higher goal but for themselves kind of person. A classic literature kind of anti-hero, not a
Yeah.
contemporary one,
Hmm.
which is just
But
hero but angry.
hmm but then you've also got other interesting stuff going on in this episode, like characters' arcs kind of wrapping up with stuff like fucking Economos' speech about his entire motivations early on,
Mm-hmm.
which I think had to have been a tearjerker for most people.
Think about this: a running gag turned into one of the more emotional, touching moments of like modern male masculinity.
Hmm.
Because that's what that whole thing was Economos was caught by the butterflies because he was sneaking around, and I go like, why does your beard look like that? And he has to lay it all bare to the people he's been kind of like hiding it from because they can hear the whole thing, and it's just like, damn,
And
it's
I love Cena's acting. Like the whole show, Cena has just been doing an incredible job. But in that scene, he just has this perfect expression of like, "Oh fuck me, I am an asshole."
that really did hurt his feelings. I feel bad.
Hmm.
But that's also another problem with the whole thing. Not a problem with the story. It's more of a problem with culture and society. Of like, Economos felt so ashamed that he couldn't actually explain how that was hurting him. So Peacemaker just thought he was being a quote unquote a bitch.
Hmm.
So
And
Peacemaker
it's
just was like, whatever, fuck him.
and like we like to think that we're in a more progressive age these days, but like those kind of interactions are still so common that like I like to think I'm a person who explains stuff when questioned on it. And whenever I do that kind of shit, like somebody questions me on a personal choice and I go, well, they're like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I have a real life.
yeah, but like the genuality of it all just really hits home.
Hmm.
Then we also have Abadayo uh,
Yeah,
reaching basically acknowledging like, nah, I may not like it, but I'm actually good at this covert bullshit and being a cool hero.
yeah, I gotta do my best. Also, Mom, can you get the Justice League to come? Which I laughed at because I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was just like, oh, that's a funny thing to make her say.
Yeah. Uh, and then she fucking pulls a Snowden at the end.
Yeah. And just like honestly, the best cameo of the episode has to be Amanda Waller just on that couch. What the fuck?
Like, part of me believes that she's just sitting there going like, "Fuck, I'm proud of you, daughter. How like
Mhm.
you did good, but fuck you."
Yeah. Uh,
Um,
but no, I like that, and I guess since I brought it up, we should get into the I can't believe it's not, except for two members, the Justice League.
yeah, it's a shame they couldn't get everybody, but that's just how the
Mhm.
large interpolitical spectrum. I don't mean politics as like government politics, just more like interpersonal politics of DCEU has kind of turned out.
Mhm. I also just enjoyed it because, like, I wasn't even thinking about, like, oh, it sucks. Like, I'm a fucking Kamen Rider fan, dude. I'm used to just blank suits appearing.
Yeah.
So I just looked at it as like, oh, that's a great jab at people who complain every other Marvel movie that they didn't call the Avengers when it got to the third act.
Here's the thing, though. They always give an explanation. Why can't we call the Avengers?
Hmm. And here it's like, well, even if you do, they're probably going to be late because
It's
in this
such late
case,
notice.
it's the fucking Justice League. They've got a lot going on.
They have a lot of time, a lot of land to cover to get to there.
Hmm.
Because where the fuck was all this stuff going down? Like what? Midwest America? Where's Central City? Where's the Flash at?
I think Central City is a coastal city. Uh, Metropolis
Aquaman's
is
Aquaman's on the East Coast. We know that.
Yeah, Metropolis is supposed to be a stand-in for New York, and Wonder Woman just kind of goes wherever she's needed.
She's usually in DC though, because she's
Hmm.
working at the Smithsonian, isn't she?
Sometimes. Depends on the era,
I
but
really
like,
do
oh,
I like her being a museum curator, especially if she's dealing with magical bullshit.
fair enough, yeah. And then we found out Batman and Cyborg were supposed to be in the scene, but they got cut out for some reason. I just like I don't think it was anything devious on Gunn's part. It might have been like Warner Brothers going, "There's a Batman movie coming out. We don't want Batfleck in this because it will cause normies to get confused." But like I also like to think the positive side of me likes to think Gunn went, "Well, how's the Batmobile gonna get there so fast if it takes the others this long to get there?"
Unless you just see Batman going down a rope and you just see the goddamn Batwing floating
Hmm.
above everybody.
Yeah, but
Um,
no, that was good. Um, I also like I didn't think it's not something I was expecting to happen at the end of the show, but I was kind of pleasantly surprised and into Amelia and Peacemaker potentially getting together.
See, to me, that wasn't necessarily like, oh, they're going to get together, but more about Peacemaker is trying to be a genuine, emotional human being and was there for another person, not for any ulterior motive, but purely for someone else.
That could be, yeah, but like
Uh,
the focus shot on the handhold
yeah,
kind of made me
but
go,
I mean, like, yes, it will probably lead to a romance storyline. But what I'm more saying is like that moment specifically was more a character development of hardcore opening up to another person, which she hasn't done the whole series, and
"Hmm,
Peacemaker learning to be open and be there for someone else.
yeah." Also, like if it does go there in season two, I want it to be one of those storylines of like we're trying, but clearly we're not good for each other, and eventually we realize that and decide to just be friends.
Yeah.
Like I want a good, more drawn out version of the season two Supergirl and Jimmy Olsen storyline. Damn it, because that had potential, and instead it was just, oh, we got to restore the status quo in one episode.
I do hope they get Vigilante back though, because like this would be fun to see him around.
Yeah, just him noping out of the hospital in that montage was so great.
It, it's good. It's good. It's all good.
Mhm.
Uh, Trying to think of anything like other major that we need to talk about.
You think Judo Master might be the big bad next season?
He might be a subtle bad.
Hmm.
I don't know what they
Like,
could do for the next season. Like it is.
It's got to be some kind of other big threat that makes Waller go like, "Damn it! I don't like how the other mission went, but you're the only ones. I got to get the band back together."
Like, here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's Peacemaker going like, oh, dudes, we were a good team. We actually saved the world. Why don't we just be superhero team together? You can be my backup. I can go into the field, be the big superhero, and we can all just work together and do good.
That could be great. Yeah, like and like Vigilante and Autobio want to be support or like no, Vigilante is totally supportive. Autobio wants to be supportive, and then Economos and Harcourt are just like, are you fucking serious? That's not a good idea, but I guess.
Because like I can just see it's like I can see Peacemaker going like, guys, this is the first time I actually did something to save the world that wasn't just like killing people indiscriminately. I actually tried to help people this time. Kind of thing. And then Vigilante go like, yeah, but we did kill a lot of people. Like I can see that line of dialogue happening.
Which, by the way, I think one of my favorite moments this episode was just "Don't fuck with my BFF."
Oh man, there's a lot of good bits. Also, just when they get to the hospital and the hardcore's getting on the stretcher, they all look at fucking Vigilante and go like, "Dude, you've been shot. You need to go into the hospital too." And he's like, "Nah, I'm fine. I can just walk this off." And
Yeah, that was great. There's actually a similar moment to that in Revise this week. Wow, I didn't realize that till now.
It's almost as if superheroes are a cultural marker across a lot of different places, and to act as if they are solely an American thing and are ruining American art is dumb.
Yeah.
Sorry, I hate people going like, "Oh, superheroes are overexposed." Superheroes, guys, we've had superheroes for years now. James Bond is a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zorro is a superhero. Sherlock
Like
Holmes is a superhero.
just because we call them pulp heroes because they're that old and they don't get used much anymore doesn't mean they're not superheroes.
Luke Skywalker is a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Marty McFly is a superhero.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, hey, buddy, guess what?
what?
John Cena is a superhero.
What are you talking about? Of course he was a superhero. He was Superman.
Yes.
Superman never loses. He's Superman.
God, I wish they had him put on the suit for just like one minute behind the scenes so we could have literal Super Cena.
Goddamn. It is interesting how different WWE wrestlers have gone into wrestling, because you have The Rock, who is all about base charisma and star power. He does not act. He just comes into a movie and is The Rock. Then you have Batista, a man who is like super diving into character roles, is really trying to lose himself into acting.
He demands to be taken seriously.
Yeah. He demands to be taken seriously as an actor. His roles can be fun and goofy and comedic, but he wants to be like respected as an actor. You know? Because he did fucking Drax. He's done comedies. He's willing to be fun and goofy. And then you have John Cena kind of like towing the line. He's using his star power to kind of fuel these projects. And to an extent, he is acting, but it seems like a variation of the John Cena character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, John Cena loses himself in Peacemaker, but you can see John Cena in Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. It's also just, did you watch the fucking blooper reel?
No, I haven't.
John Cena has a filthy sense of humor, apparently.
Dude, he was in a locker room full of bros during the Ruthless Aggression era. I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Like, during the scene with the where we first see imaginary dad, and then Harcourt goes, "I need you to do something else for me." He there's a beat, and then he just goes, "You need a stool sample."
Looking at the what's the guy who plays Terminator 2? He's the dad.
Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick and John Cena sitting next to each other like that. They do kind of look alike. They do kind of look like father and son. That's like good casting.
Yeah.
It's good. It's solid.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently, Robert Patrick did actually wear the Red Dragon suit for most of the scenes.
That's good on him.
Yeah.
Let the man be a badass again. Nah, this is good episode, good finale.
Good show.
All the characters are in not necessarily a better place, but an interesting place.
Yeah.
Abadiah's back with her wife. John
Economos is back in his old job, but he
has friends now. He's happier.
Yeah.
He has an emotional connection to people which he didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
Harcourt is opening up to people, and she's going through physical therapy. And then we have Peacemaker having a minor mental breakdown.
Yeah, he's having himself a BoJack Horseman moment.
A certified horseman.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's where John Cena gets it. That's where he gets the ability to not be seen. It's from his ghost dad.
Good one.
So yeah, do we have anything else we want to say about Peacemaker episode 8 other than everybody should go watch Peacemaker?
9 out of 10, can't wait for season 2.
Hell yeah. I agree. Know what I also agree?
What?
Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Earth's Avengers.
Yeah, The Man Who Stole Tomorrow, I think this episode is.
Yeah, I didn't really have a segue. I just was like, do we need to get to the next thing?
Look, Kang's cool.
Kang is cool. This is a great portrayal of Kang.
Yeah, because it's just that fuck you OP boss.
Because he's calm and collected, but he's also like, you fucking imbeciles, can you just let me do the thing I need to do?
Mm-hmm. And I love how he's so convinced that he has to kill Cap, that even Cap has a moment of like, wait, maybe I should fucking die.
Yeah. Which is always a great, like, Marvel villains always work great when they're like, fuck, you're right, but fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're getting all this great world building with the 42 negative zone prison, and like establishing that the Fantastic Four exist in this universe.
Yep. Which is all good and grand.
And the fucking army of Ultrons that's just sitting off somewhere. Shit, fuck.
Yeah, but like it's such good. Like if you know comics, you know, but if you don't, it's just like, why are there so many?
It's like that Mr. Incredible meme.
Yeah.
Those who know who Ultron is, those who don't.
It knows the other way. Those who don't know who Ultron is, it's like, hey. Those who do, oh no.
Very darkened.
Also, the classic scene, the scene that should be in every Avengers thing ever. Captain America teaching Tony Stark how to fucking fight.
That was... Because, like, I know that's a thing from the comics, because the comics reference it all the time to explain that, like, this is how certain Avengers know how to fight good, is that Cap trained them. Mm-hmm. But, like, because they did that way back in the 60s, we never actually see that, except for, like, the only other time I can think of besides that original it happening to Tony in the Avengers is fucking that recent issue of Spider-Man.
Yeah, but, like, there's also just the idea of, like, that's always a core aspect of their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Stark is the rich playboy, and Captain America is the down-to-earth dude who goes like, bud, you need to be prepared for things. You can't just be going off willy-nilly. And Tony Stark goes like, "But I live on willy-nilly."
Yeah, I love their conversation that opens the episode too about like explaining what a futurist is, because like that's also like one of the first Marvel Comics things I ever saw was the miniseries Captain America Man at a Time by Mark Waid. There that's a retelling of his joining of the Avengers, but it's all drawn like it's a 60s period piece. And so you see that kind of stuff between him and Tony, where like there's this great issue of like Tony showing him around the Smithsonian and shit and being like, "Look at all this great stuff America has done since you've been gone. Look, here's Martin Luther King. We solved racism. Isn't that amazing?" And then he goes and visits a black soldier that he was friends with, who's like fucking 80 now. Oh, and they're like talking, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I found out about this I Have a Dream speech. Isn't that cool?" Well, and he goes, "Yeah. Did they ever tell you that what happened to the man who said it?" Like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why I'm always of the firm belief that Captain America should always stay an Irishman.
yeah,
Because back in the 20s and the 30s, Irish people weren't looked at favorably. They were seen as like pieces of shit, drunkards and assholes, right?
yeah.
But today, it's just white people.
hmm
But Captain America remembers the 20s version of Irish people, and so he can connect with that mentality with like oppressed people and go like, "Yeah, no, all this is bullshit. Fuck you."
Yeah. No, no, that book is great. We should do like we should resurrect Analytical Fanboys to talk about that book at some point.
But no, like this episode's like just a good classic-y kind of wham bam, here's King.
Yeah, and shit's gonna go down because like this is part one of who knows how many.
Mm-hmm. But also it's just because we're also getting Kang now sometime soon in the MCU.
Yeah, Loki season 2 starts filming next month. Did you hear that?
Oh, nice. Fucking Moon Knight, though.
Fucking Moon Knight, though.
Moon Knight's gonna be so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's solid, it's good, and it's basically just like Kang coming in and go like, "I need to kill Captain America." Whoa, 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 whoa! Fuck you. Here's the future. I need to kill Captain America. Maybe you should kill me. Nah, fuck you. Oh shit, we can't do anything to him.
We can break his chair.
Oh no, but no, here's the thing. The way Tony Stark fixes it is he just gets into it and he finds a USB plug and it's like, this motherfucker uses USB? He's from the future, but he uses USB? You dumbass.
You played yourself. Congratulations.
Nah, it's just good. Anything else we want to talk about with King?
Kang's cool. I like Kang. I still need to get that Marvel Legend.
Yeah. So, hold on. Boop, boop. We got some toys and the whatnots and the other news. But first,
it's time for the news.
the first thing, news we have to deal with is slightly sad, but people are doing things to make it a little less sad. George Perez has recently been diagnosed with cancer.
He's
terminal.
actually in an outpatient facility now.
But it is terminal. George Perez is not doing great.
Yeah.
But
him and Dan DiDio spent the day together today. I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, but George Perez, for people who aren't 100% in the know, is probably one of the most significant comic book artists, bar none.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kirby, Romita Sr., George Perez.
The man drew Crisis on Infinite Earths.
The man drew the quintessential versions of the DC characters that was on merchandise for decades.
The like he drew the new Teen Titans for most of its run. He has a seminal run on Wonder Woman. How many people can say that?
And I'm pretty sure he did do some Marvel books. I don't know how many, but I think he did do at least one or two Marvel books.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not like pure DC boy. But
Yeah.
To basically celebrate his career and also to raise money to help him out, they are doing a reprinting of JLA Avengers, which hasn't been printed since 2008.
Yeah. Two companies setting aside their differences, and apparently some very talented people behind the scenes moving heaven and hell to make that happen. Um, in honor of this man, and it is going to be a limited printing. It's limited to 7,000 copies, so people like you and me probably won't get a hold
Oh
of
no,
one.
no,
But
keep talking, just a second. Keep talking. I'll be
um,
right back.
but still, it's really exciting that this is happening. This is kind of a major book. It's one of those things where it was such a huge deal, it almost didn't happen because of petty bullshit at the time, and there's not a lot of other crossovers as big as that one, so it's very exciting to see. It's going to be back out there for however briefly for people to take a look at it.
It was the last crossover between Marvel and DC.
No, there was a Daredevil Batman one in the 2000.
This was 2003.
Yeah, I think that. I'm trying to remember when that Daredevil Batman one. Oh, look at you, fancy man.
I have it. It is honestly, I do believe it's almost quintessential reading for Marvel and DC, just because it is a total celebration of what it means to be like to tell stories from these universes.
Mm.
Like, hold on, let me find. And it's also like a good summation of like what does it mean to be a Marvel hero, what does it mean to be a DC hero, and just understanding that it's not necessarily one universe is better than the other. It's understanding that like you just have to be as good of a person as you can be.
Yeah.
You know.
I tell you what, there was a moment before we found out that he was already so bad he wasn't going to be able to complete his farewell tour because originally last year he had said he wanted to do a farewell tour of as many cons as he could.
Yeah.
I was going to try really hard to make it out to one to get him to sign my copy of Crisis and just to shake his hand and say, hey, I know it wasn't entirely your story, but like, if not for this book, a lot of people wouldn't have gotten interested in Supergirl. So like, thanks for popularizing the character and doing everything else you did.
I
You
mean,
you
that is quintessential one of the most important images in comic books in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Superman holding Mjolnir and the shield of just that is what American superheroes is a man battered, torn to shreds, trying his hardest with the tools of his friends to beat the bad guy.
Yeah.
This is good. I don't know how much this is going for, and they're doing a new printing, but like,
Mm.
how much this? Yeah, this was like $20 when I bought it.
Nice.
Because I bought it like, yeah, like 2010, 2011, 2012.
I mean, anything the guy's touched is going to skyrocket until at least a year after he actually passes.
Oh yeah, and here's one of the most important fucking multi-character spreads ever.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing is like this guy was known for being able to draw tons of characters in one panel
and make them
have
distinct.
them all still be recognizable.
Make them distinct. To like, yeah, no, it's Jla Avengers is a great book. George Perez is a great man, and the world would be a worse off place without him.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's a shame that like this crossover had to get into people's hands this way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let this load up.
But now from one Fang ending to another Fang ending, because IDW Transformers is on its way out the door, reportedly.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro's shopping around the license, and so it seems like for the what will probably be the final book, I'm guessing, they have announced Last Bot Standing from who is it again?
Nick Roach.
Yeah, Nick Roach and EJ Sue, who are two of the most seminal creators throughout the IDW run. EJ Sue drew a lot of the initial miniseries, and Nick Roche has written a lot of like the stuff you've heard of. Like he's the Morden meets the Eye guy.
So they're basically going like, "Hey, we're just gonna ignore the reboot. Just tell a story."
Mm-hmm. And I also think it's going to be interesting to see what character this is, because the announcement doesn't say who the last bot standing actually is. Like, there's a strong temptation to go like, oh, it'll be Optimus, because like it's always Optimus, but like it's Nick Roach. Dude loves his obscure European characters, so like.
But it's also Nick Roach. Isn't he the man who redeemed Megatron?
Yeah, could be Megatron, could be Hot Rod. And again, could be an obscure European character. Like, what if this is just like a I love you few book, and it's a clench a character study.
Yeah.
But no, definitely an important book that's going to be dropping in the next couple months, and I will be talking about at least the first issue on this show.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, look at the dude. Remember the bounty hunter guy from Animated?
Lockdown. That would be interesting.
The legs look like Lockdown. He has the thing on his head looks like a hat. That could just be a spike coming out of the neck, like Lockdown has.
Yeah, do like a Book of Boba Fett style thing.
Hold on, let me make the image bigger. Oh no, what I saw was a spike was just a cape. Looking at the legs, no, that's Megatron. That's Megatron. Okay. Who has squared off legs like that other than Megatron? That are that clean and crisp.
Maybe Blitzwing? But like,
also look at the shape of the head. That's a Megatron head if I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a bucket head. It's fucking Megatron.
It's Megatron.
Old man Megatron at long last. Let's go.
Oh man. It just totally feels like a Megatron, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm slightly hyped for that book, but
I'm hyped for the people who are hyped for it. I never really got into the IDW stuff, so
I've been very in and out of it, you know.
Hey, guess what?
Toys.
Made in Japan! SA Figuarts, Thor and Mighty Thor.
Our first look at the MCU versions of these characters, oddly enough. Because we knew Jane Foster 4 was coming, but we hadn't seen pictures of Natalie Portman in the costume, and still technically we haven't, but here's what it looks like, everyone.
And then we have Odinson.
Yeah. And these figures look pretty good. The likenesses are a little off, but not enough that like it looks egregious like those Falcon and Winter Soldier Figuarts did.
To me, the likenesses feel kind of like a softer, toyetic version of their likeness.
Yeah. I think the one thing that really bothers me is Jane's hair. Oddly enough, it just looks a little Play-Doh-y to me.
Yeah, I just think it's because it's not textured enough.
Mm-hmm. Also, this kind of reveals a bit of the plot of the movie because, well, obviously Mjolnir was destroyed in Ragnarok, but hers looks like it's been glued back together, and there's even an effects parts to show it gluing itself back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're good-looking figures, good-looking designs. I'm looking forward to actually seeing the actors in those costumes soon.
I mean, I'm trusting Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, guess what? Are you a
Todd made
boomer?
Todd made boomer figures again.
Boomer figures? Hey,
Oh
boomer
god!
Chod.
Oh hey, look, Eartha Kitt Catwoman. It's the first time we've had that in toys in a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the
that's...
most powerful thing about this.
Yeah. I mean...
Like, do you really need boxing shorts, Batman and Riddler?
if you're a boomer...
Isn't that just like one episode, though? How many boomers remember that specific episode, I'm wondering?
How many boomers don't care and just want something to remind them of their childhood?
That is also true.
Well, so Eartha Kitt. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's good likeness.
Always remember, Catwoman is not white. She's a person of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just fucking...
They are what
boomer,
they are.
They're boomer toys.
Mm-hmm.
They sell to boomers.
I like the more stylized slant on the peg hook.
Yeah.
That's something I noticed this time around, but no.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You know what you got?
What do I got?
You got Vision, kid.
Hey.
Diamond Select. Marvel's Vision.
Yeah, very, very classic looking Vision. Much more classic than any Legends version we've gotten in the last few years. And I literally saw this and went, oh man, I'd want that if not were for the fact that it's probably like a full head taller than most of my Marvel Legends.
Yeah. He looks good.
Mm-hmm. Good array of effects, I think. I like that he's coming with his head beam.
Yeah. But
the only thing I would change is like maybe don't have the angry head. Give him a head based off of that even an android can cry panel.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But no, my figures can't feel emotion. They're only manly men. They are not allowed to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
But we got some Mezco reveals from Toy Fair 2022.
Yeah.
First things first is the one, the only, the Crow.
Yeah, 5-point articulated the Crow, because Mezco has 2 lines. They have 5 points articulated, which isn't... They don't put their stuff in stores, so it's not like it's for kids, but it's like, it's novelty, basically.
Yeah.
And then 112 Collective is super aimed at collectors who do figure photography and whatnot. But look, 5-point Scooby-Doo set, and like, honestly, it looks really good. The only thing it's missing is the Creeper, and I'd be like, you know what? I would buy this and just have it be my Scooby-Doo toys.
Here's the thing, though. Scooby-Doo is a kind of toy, kind of franchise that can get away with having boomer toys.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what this is. It's very boomery, but like Scooby-Doo, I can go like, you know what? That fits. That tracks.
Yeah.
I don't need a highly articulated Scooby-Doo set.
112 Collective Scooby-Doo would be badass, though.
But then we do have 112 classic Spider-Man and Gobby.
Yeah. Oh, that Ditko ass Spidey. Mm.
That's a Spider-Man that'll yell. That's a Spider-Man that'll yell at you about libertarian politics.
Hell yeah.
I do not like Ditko writing Spider-Man. He was trash at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have this mad lad.
Yeah, a bunch of Rumble Society. They tease that character, and the full reveal of him is later in the slideshow.
Yeah,
but
Creep Show.
Yeah, Creep Show. Very nice.
Has anybody ever made a figure of the Crypt
Keeper?
Crypt Keeper, yes.
I do not believe so, but I could be wrong. But hey, look, 112 Collective Bertman.
Yeah.
That should be great. I can't wait for it to release in 5 years.
Some more Creep Show.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're doing a Pyramid Head statue.
I got to show that to Hatch. They love the Pyramid Head.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you see when they announced 112 Collective Pyramid Head a few weeks ago?
No.
Okay, I'll have to show that to you after the show.
But yeah, Pyramid Head. If you like your rape symbolism.
Yeah! I mean, ooh. And then, hey, look, they're doing a Ninja Turtle set that's probably going to be like their Fantastic Four set in that you get everyone in one box.
It
And it's
also looks like classic, like, Mirage Turtles, but with the colors.
Yeah, it's like, that's kind of my mind's eye at the Turtles, so I'm a little tempted by it, but you know it's going to be like $500 fucking dollars or some shit.
And then we got a good-ass Damien.
Yeah, I love seeing all the boomers who are super into 112 Collective who were like asking for a Robin so much, and then they saw the tease last year and they got excited, and then like, oh, it's Damien. They did Damien first. I wanted Dick. I wanted Jason. I wanted Tim. Aren't you a little young to be here?
Look, I watched the Teen Titans cartoon.
That was that conversation on Twitter. I was so tempted at one point just to like pipe in with, I wanted Stephanie Brown, you fuckers.
I wanted the fucking girl from The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, there were one or two guys saying that. Carrie Kelly's a boss.
But here's the thing. Damien is cool, and I like this version of Damien's costume. Fucking get rid of the gray tunic.
This might be the best figure of Damien we've gotten so far, actually. Because before that, I would have said the Icons one that comes in a 2-pack with John.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, no, this looks like way better articulation and slightly better detail.
Yeah, nice. Mm-hmm. Then we got fucking 112 Snake Eyes.
Yeah, fuck, I'm gonna have to get this, because that is my mind's eye of Snake Eyes, more so than the classified figure. Like, that is just, that silver visor and, like, the well popping out grenades. That's good. I need that in my life.
But with one ninja, you have to have another ninja.
And that's a damn good-looking Storm Shadow, man.
And then, is this posable? No, this is 5-point articulated Silent Hill 2 figures.
Yeah.
So we got Pyramid Head and the Nurse.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Here's the Rumble Society boy.
There's the boy. Because for those who don't know, Rumble Society is Mezco's ROC's line. That's just them taking parts from other 112 figures and going, what kind of weird shit can we make? Can we make a weird pulp hero that has a skull fur face? Sure, let's do that.
Let's also give him a Cthulhu hand and head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Cody was freaking out over this guy because he has an alternate hand that's just a crab claw.
Yeah. He's great looking, though.
Yeah, he is really cool. I think I even retweeted him and was like, this is just a Boingo Rider OC.
He's great.
There's the crab claw. Look at that shit.
Yeah. It is just like, yo, you want something fucking weird and dope?
Yeah. That's a conversation starter figure you put on your desk at work. People are like, what the fuck is that? Well, it's by the specific artist who only makes
Philosopher's Oculus.
Oh. Hello.
What's going on? Oh no, things are going on. He's talking to someone off screen, and I'm just saying nonsense in the hopes that he can hear me. Hear me. All my friends know the You can't ignore me forever, you son of a bitch. God damn it, motherfucking this wire. I just want this wire to stay where I tell it to fucking stay. Please and thank you. Look at this man. Look at this man having a conversation, not doing a podcast. Look at this man, huh? What kind of man is he? Not paying attention to the goddamn podcast.
My fucking sister is trying to give me food, asshole.
Well, you have a podcast to fucking do, you son of a bitch. Look at this man. Look at this dude. Look at this motherfucking dude. You know, let's just get a close-up of this dude doing nothing. Just silence. Look at this man. Is this your man? Come on now, look at this man.
Fuck you, I have chalky milk.
Fuck you, I have jokes for days.
Do you know?
Yeah. I mean, I talk to you every day.
Alright, fair play. Good enough. You pass. Congratulations.
But look.
What else?
Dudes.
Yeah, look, and he's next to Doc Nocturnal there. Oh, that's great.
All the accessories he comes with, it's just good and grand.
Yeah.
I want money just so I can... Yeah, he has an origin story comic that he comes with.
Yep, every Rumble Society guy gets an origin story comic.
Fuck, I need money so I can get them all.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just some collages of things that they revealed. So yeah, overall, I'd say pretty damn dope.
Yeah, great. I can't believe it's not Toy Fair from Mezco this year.
Yeah. Solid, good. Solid, good. Then we have some NECA. Do you want some NECA? What about NECA?
I mean, I don't love NECA, but sure, why not?
Well, we got some figures from Defenders of the Universe?
Of the Earth.
Defenders of the Earth. We have Garax. Which, that's just a dope looking figure.
Yeah. I should say, like, I don't know any of these characters. I just put these announcements in here because they're Pulp heroes, and Pulp is the originator of comic heroes.
Then we have this man.
Yeah, this Luke Cage looking motherfucker.
Lothar. And Mandrake, who's a magician.
I can't believe it's not Zatara. How many people are going to buy that and just use it as a Zatara in their DC displays?
Classic Zatara, yeah. I mean, they're cool looking.
Yeah.
And if you're into Flash Gordon and the Phantom and all them, yeah.
I mean, fucking go for it. But obviously, we're way more into Damian Wayne and dudes with crab claw hands.
Crab claw.
But is that all the news this week, Boingo Rider?
I do believe that's all the news this week, but you know what's also newsworthy? We read fucking comics.
Oh my god. I can't believe these guys read comics.
I got it. The slideshow has to load up again because for some reason it just deloads the fucking page whenever I go off of it. I need to fucking fix it.
Oh boy.
Hey.
Oh, am I starting this week?
No, you're not. When the fuck do you ever start? Considering how many books I fucking read.
I don't, but you usually go, hey, when you're getting me to talk.
No, I was waiting for things to load because, hey, the first book we're talking about is Iron Fist #1.
Okay.
We got a brand new Iron Fist.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear about the new and exciting adventures of my favorite character, Danny Rand.
Well, congratulations, he's in the book.
Cool.
See, okay, so Iron Fist... So Danny Rand gave up his powers to save the day. Do you know normal superhero things?
Yeah.
So the dragon who gave him this power started to reincarnate and do all the thing. Normal Iron Fist stuff. That's already existing in the lore. So this one dude called Swordmaster... Lin Lei. Or Lei Lin.
The same Swordmaster from Hawkeye?
No, different character.
Oh, okay.
He has an ancient sword passed down in his family that was, like, holding down demonic beasts. And his dad, like, accidentally unleashed the beasts. So his dad and brother got lost to some, like, magic bullshit and he can't find them. So he was a sword dude, and he had the sword to try and, like, kill all the demons. But one day, while finding a fucking...
A discount store katana.
Kinda. But one day, while fighting a Korean fox deity or a Chinese fox deity.
Hey, Boingo.
What?
What does katana mean?
What?
It's Japanese for sword.
Cool.
Because that's a line in the first Suicide Squad, and that was a me.
So while fighting a fox deity, he falls down a giant cliff and he breaks a sword, and all the pieces are scattered, and demonic beings are taking them to get power. And the shards of the sword are embedded in his skin, giving him constant pain. But the dragon that gives the Iron Fist power comes and saves him and gives him some of his power. So now he's the Iron Fist, and he's searching all over the world to get these sword parts to put the sword back together so he can defeat the demons. And Danny Rand goes like, "Hey, kid, I can tell you're new to being an Iron Fist, and I want to help you. And here's the thing. The dude doesn't realize he used to be Iron Fist, so he's just like, fuck off, you white dude." He doesn't say white dude, but he's just like, fuck off. Why should I fucking trust you? Who the fuck are you?
What if we get Iron Fist Season 3 on Disney Plus and it's just this book?
It's possible. But it's okay. It's good. It's solid. And I don't mind this guy being a new Iron Fist. He's fun, he's young, he's sensuous. I can see him working with the champions. Being that kind of character, and Danny Rand just kind of hanging out with Luke Cage and the Heroes for Hire and stuff. And
him and Darkhawk will play COD together.
God damn it. Nah, they wouldn't play COD. They play Fortnite. Money, dollars to donuts. Miles knows all the Fortnite dances.
I could see Kamala and Gwen knowing them all, but I feel like Miles would be like constantly trying to learn them, but being a little off.
But hey, we got another book to talk about. Guess what? It's another book that I read.
Hey.
X-Men number 8.
Oh, is that? Oh, Lord, is that some MODOK?
Yeah. Basically, MODOK is taking over a cruise ship to do experiments with a rage virus, and the X-Men go to stop him.
Sick.
The underlying current is Sync is talking to Laura because they were in a thing for like 1,000 years, and he loves her, and she's going like, I didn't experience that. I don't know what you went through. Hey, how long did it take for me to start liking you? Not like just like liking you as a person. He says, oh, it took a couple 100 years. And she was like, oh, you broke me down that quick, eh? And it's just like, oh, it's kind of sweet. She recognizes that she might have, like, there's a possibility that she could grow to have feelings for him.
Buster, fuck off with your video games. No, you didn't win.
It's Street Fighter 6.
Go away. I don't want... video games are bad. Get them out of my comic books. Except for Fortnite, Batman, and Snake Eyes. That was a good video game comic book. Nope, but no other ones.
But no, they fight MODOK, and they go into MODOK's head, and he has a fucking family, and, like, it's just weird. It's just, like, fucking weird. It's good weird. It's a good weird. Oh my god, it looks doo-doo.
Oh no.
Oh fuck, I'll have to look it up when
fuck video games! Fuck video games! Fuck video games!
I'll have to look at it when we're done with the podcast. Yeah, no, X-Men number 8 is good. Hey, you want to tell me about Wayne Family Adventures?
Yeah, I caught up on that last night, and it's pretty good, pretty solid. Let me see if I can pull up the chapters real quick, because it's basically the holiday season chapters. Because I think they put out like one every other week or something like that. The first one was the Robins trying to help Alfred because his and Bruce's flight got delayed on Thanksgiving. So they're trying to help him out by baking the pies for him, and it goes horribly because none of them know how to bake, and Kate Kane is just standing there judging the whole time. It's very funny.
That's Batwoman, right? The redhead?
Yep. Redhead was in the military.
Cousin to Bruce.
Is and isn't married to the Question, depending on where we are in continuity. Um,
But she's Bruce's cousin, right? They're cousins?
yeah, she's Bruce's cousin.
They're
Um, and then
family.
and then there was a wholesome ass issue about like Damien going through a day at school and being like, somebody's watching me, I can tell it. And hopefully she's not too mad because I have other responsibilities to fulfill first, but you don't keep Talia Al Ghul waiting. And then he's on the roof with her in his Robin costume and he's like, what do you want, mother? And she's like, I just wanted to check on you and make sure you were happy. Are you happy? Are you happy being with your found family? And he's like, yeah, I am. She's like, good. I'm glad to hear that. It's like
Now
literally
here's a
that's the
knife.
whole
Ah.
issue. No, that's the whole issue, and it's super cute. Um, then there's a great one-off about just like what Bat Cow gets up to when nobody's watching it.
It hangs out
It's
with Jeff the
really
Shark.
uh no, because that's a different universe, but it does go on wacky adventures with Robin or with Alfred the Cat. Um, And then there's a great issue about Bruce getting home on Christmas Eve and being like, "Where the fuck is everybody, Alfred?" And he's like, "Oh, they're out doing good work." And he's like, "But only Duke patrols during the day. What are they doing?" And he's like, "Oh, they're being heroes in another way." And then he goes and checks on all of them, and Kate and Dick are working in a soup kitchen and Stephanie and Cassandra and Barbara are all delivering cocoa to homeless people in the park. Um, and then Duke and Jason and Luke Fox are playing a charity basketball game with some kids. And Damien is helping at the animal shelter, and it's just really cute because he's a proud papa. And you get to see Bruce being a proud papa, and you don't often get to see that. Um, there's a great issue. There's a really good gag in one issue where it's like they're all the kids are playing a Mario Kart tournament, except it's not Mario Kart because we legally can't show Mario Kart. But they're playing a Mario Kart
It's
tournament where it's like,
Wario Kart.
yeah, the loser has to undergo an embarrassing punishment. Like they have to wear a goofy costume when they go on patrol the next night. And it's like, oh, the opening gag is that last year Stephanie lost and she had to wear the Riddler's costume on patrol one night. And the gag for this issue is that if you lose, you have to wear the Disco Nightwing costume. And Jason ends up losing. And Dick's like, why is my old costume a punishment? It's great. And Barbara's like, this is why you're disqualified from playing. It's impossible to embarrass you. uh, there's a hilarious issue where all the Robins argue over who gets the shotgun seat in the Batmobile. Um, and then the latest issue is like the ultimate parent, like the parent joke everybody makes, but done with Batman characters, which is that Bruce and Selina are on patrol and they're doing a lot of flirting until one point where it's like they're about to just bang on a rooftop, and then over the comm, Stephanie is like, "Please God, somebody make it stop!" And Bruce is just like, spoiler? And then Barbara chimes in, Oracle, Batman, this is Oracle. You left your comms open the entire time. And he's just like, oh God. Like, and you cut and you see all the other people on patrol. And it's like, Tim is crying in the corner. And Damien doesn't understand. He's like, is he going to arrest her or not? And then Jason's just like, can somebody kill me again, please? Um,
Is Catwoman kind of just Bat family in this thing?
Yeah, she's Bat Family adjacent. She's Dad's girlfriend. She's single Dad's girlfriend. Um, and then it cuts back to Bruce, and he's just like, "I'm never gonna live this down." Oh, and Selena is like chuckling, and it's like, oh, you'll get over it. It'll be fine. And it's like a cute, wholesome moment for them at the same time as it's like this is a hilarious thing that happens to every family at some point, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wayne Family Adventures continues to be utterly wonderful.
An utter delight, apparently.
Yes.
Hey, guess what? We both read 89 of Spider-Man.
Okay, so I have a confession to make.
Yes.
I don't like Mark Bagley.
I have started to kind of understand that I appreciate Bagley for what he did at Spider-Man, but I am slowly not vibing with Mark Bagley.
It's like he has a 2000s ass art style, but his composition is straight out of the 70s, and it
Yeah.
doesn't fail together.
Yeah.
The story in this issue is fine though.
Yeah. I mean, it's the continuing things of all the Spider stuff.
Yeah, it's the return of Peter to being Spider-Man, and it's big and it's badass, and it has a really cute, potentially kinky moment between the free leads of the book right now, and also revelations that Jenny might be okay.
Yeah. Here's a question. We kind of fixed Scott, Wolverine, and Jean Grey with polyamory. Spider-Man. Polyamory?
Boy, 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 boy.
And I mean this fully and honestly, and like a full polycule.
Mm-hmm.
Like Peter Parker dates Mary Jane and Felicia. Felicia dates Peter and like Flash Thompson. Why not bring that back?
Yeah.
And Mary Jane. Mary Jane dates Felicia and Peter.
Yeah. Be interesting to see. I'd love to see all the fans who are like, this is the worst thing to happen since One More Day. And it's like, fuck off.
Fuck off. Let characters do interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
You knuckleheads. You know?
Yeah.
So, on to the next book.
Yeah, what's next?
I'm trying to pull it up. Hey, I read the next issue of Hulk number 4.
How is Donny Cates?
Yep.
Yeah, how is Donny Cates' wild ride?
It's getting wilder and wilder all the time. So we're still in the alternate dimension where Bruce's gamma things went correct, except people slowly started turning into the Hulks. Thunderbolt Ross, who is the president, goes like, fuck, we got a Hulk? Banner, what the fuck's going on? We need to deal with this. And they're not. And so eventually, he sends all the goddamn Hulk stuff, like, army stuff to fight the Hulk, and the Hulk goes like, I've done this before, and the alternate universe Banner goes like, no, and Hulk gets his shit kicked in a little bit, but he survives, and then he beats all the things, he breaks all the tanks, and Thunderbolt Ross goes like, all right, my Banner, if you don't convince this guy to stop, I'm gonna send in your student. What? No, you can't send in my student. And our Hulk goes like, what the fuck is he talking about? I had a student, his name was Peter, and he got bit by a spider while we were experimenting with gamma radiation.
Oh shit, fuck.
So drops down Peter, and a Spider-Man Hulk comes out. Like, his legs break into 8 legs spider things. He's big and buff. He's red with splotches of blue, and around his eyes is the Spider-Man eyes.
This book is like the closest a comic can possibly get to being a best of the worst level movie.
I mean, it is ridiculous and silly, and I don't think it's meant to be anything other than that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, people were coming off of Immortal Hulk into this, going like, oh man, I can't wait to see what Donny Cates does to the Hulk. Donny Cates just wanted to fucking play with his action figures, and everybody's a little bit pissed off. It's like,
Yeah, because he just came off of a super serious character redefining run, and he's like, I need to decompress, dude.
let him have his fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's fun, cool. X Lives of Wolverine.
Hey, I recognize that Wolverine look.
It's just a continued Wolverine adventures through time while finding Omega, and we find out Red Omega, why he's working with the Russians is. We figure out like, oh, they tricked you and they did this thing to you, and it's like, oh, that fucking pisses me off. Yeah, I'll work with you. All that kind of stuff, and we just see through time, and we get a Moby Dick illusion. Like he's working with Charles Xavier's dad while they're in the Arctic Circle fighting whales.
Has Xavier's dad ever been a significant character before?
Not really. Not as far as I'm aware. But like, he's trying to kill Xavier, so let's kill his dad. But they fight a white whale there too, so it's like, okay, Moby Dick, nice. But then we get to the time in Colombia where he's trying to save Professor Xavier. He's crawling through, and he gets to see Xavier, and he goes like, wait, I don't see Omega. Where's Omega? As he starts to can't control his body, and then we see Wolverine, and Red Omega has possessed Wolverine himself.
Shit.
Yeah. But as a minor exploration of Wolverine, the Lives and Death has been pretty good.
Cool.
I've been enjoying it. Time to tell me about Supergirl.
Oh, fuck. The end of Tom King's Supergirl. Here we are. So I have a funny story about this book, which is that, I'm on all the comic book subreddits, obviously.
Right.
And normally on Tuesday and Wednesday, they're just filled with spoilers. Normally properly marked, given. But because I don't typically care about spoilers, I'll still click on images anyways, just out of whatever the fuck while I'm at lunch. And I wasn't thinking one day, like, normally I try to keep an eye out for this book in particular, and like a couple others I really care about. But I just wasn't thinking this week. And I happened to click on a panel from the last book, which was her in the fucking TV show, like, full bodysuit pants costume. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I literally had one of those moments where I'm like, I'm gonna go home, read this, and then have to make a fucking Thanos and baby Gamora meme of, like, did you finally get a good Supergirl book that you can just hand to anyone? Yes. What did it cost? The best costume she's had in literal ever. No, I was wrong, because that's a flash forward at the end of this book, and it's implied that, like, yeah, she might. This is impossible. She might wear that in the far off future. She's still going to be wearing her regular costume when you see her in normal continuity again. Don't worry.
It's more of like, this is to show that she's an older woman.
Mm-hmm. Very much so, because this issue picks up right where the last one left off, with Ruth going to kill Crom of the Red Hills, and he's like, come on, why don't you do it? Why don't you kill me? Why don't you fucking do it, you little pussy? Come on, do it, do it, do it. And she's like, it's dishonorable. I'm going to cut you free. I'm going to put this sword in the ground halfway between us, and then we're going to fight. We're gonna fight like adults. And they have a big knockout drag down fight at the same time as Comet is saving Supergirl and getting fucking obliterated for it. And Ruth ends up getting the upper hand on Krem, cuts off his fucking fingers in one fell stroke with the sword, and then has him on his knees, and like she gives this big practice speech she's had all this time, and she goes to try and kill him. She can't. She can't do it. She tries again. She can't do it. She misses. She goes over his head. She stops short. She goes to the side a bunch of times, and she's like, something, what's wrong with me? Why can't I kill you? And then Kara carrying the human form of Comet, because that's a fucking thing. Remember, Comet's a dude who got cursed to be turned into a special horse. She's carrying his human form, and
Wait, you
she's
mean
all battered.
Kara fucks a horse?
She doesn't fuck that horse. That horse is her friend. Um, she's carrying the Comet's human form, and she's all battered and bruised and bloody herself. And she goes, "I don't know. Maybe you just need a little help." And she sets Comet down and kind of like casually explains it for people who don't know that shit. And then takes the sword, and she's like, I brought you with and Roof is like, well, you can't kill him. Your dog. You still need that information, right? Like, I'm sorry. I know I was going against you. And she's like, oh, that was all bullshit. Crypto's fine. He's chilling with the vet. Like, yeah, he got shot, but he's good. He'll be up and at. He's probably up and at him already. I just needed a reason to come with you because I knew you were going to go with or without me. And I knew killing this guy could potentially ruin your life. So I wanted to try and teach you that killing is wrong. Through everything we've been doing, I've been trying to teach you that. And clearly you haven't learned your lesson, so fuck it, I'll just kill him for you like I said I would. And she's going to do it, and Roof is like, no, I understand. I learned. I swear to God, I learned. And she goes over everything they've been through and like everything it's taught her, and you see flashbacks to the other issues. And she's like, look, I am a different person than the angry little girl who set out on this journey. Please don't make the mistake that I can't make anymore. And Kara has this moment where Ruth takes the sword away from her and she falls to her knees and she says the same thing that they said to each other at the end of that issue where they found out about the town that was like burying all those bodies and acting like it wasn't happening. It's too big, we're too small. And they just embrace each other. And then we cut forward to Ruth as an old woman, sitting on her father's farm, and Kara shows up in the pants costume, and she's like, "Hey, it's been a long time. I read your book. It was really nice." Basically saying Ruth's narration through the whole thing has been a book that Ruth put out about Supergirl, and Ruth's like, it was shit. I should have told everybody what really happened." And it's kind of implied that she wrote in the ending of the book that her and Supergirl killed Crime together. But instead, what we see is they go up to the hill where Ruth's father was killed, and Supergirl has a little Phantom Zone chip, and she breaks it. And after serving the equivalent of 4 life sentences, an old, withered Cram steps out and goes up to Ruth and just starts begging for forgiveness. And she just cracks him over the head with her cane, and they both walk away. And that's the end of the book.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I'm not exactly sure what my read on it is just yet, but this has been a phenomenal series, really solid ending. Tom King's writing is as enthralling as ever, and like, thank fuck for this book introducing me to Belquis Ively, because I would have never come across her without it. And like, she's got some of the most beautiful, like, sketchy but wispy kind of painted artwork I've ever seen.
It looks a little Art Nouveau in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this was a great issue. And it sucks that it's over, and I'm both interested and terrified to see what happens with Supergirl going forward.
All right, what's next? We got to talk about Venom #5.
Hey, how's our favorite single dad doing?
Not great.
Totally usual, huh?
Yeah. So we finally get an explanation of what's been happening with Eddie Brock, because for the past few issues we've just been following Dylan. Okay, so remember how in the first issue I said, like, oh yeah, Eddie kind of landed in this weird garden and this dude was over him going like, yo, Eddie Brock, what's up, my dude? We kind of cut back to then, And the dude's talking to Eddie, and he's narrating the book. And he goes like, hey, relax, you're trying to recombine yourself. You're a king in black, aren't you? He's like, yeah, are you a king in black? Yeah. Everybody here's a king in black. See, eventually every king in black, post null after you, tries to connect to all the symbiotes through time. Somehow that disintegrates our body and our consciousness gets flung through time, and we all just kind of land here. We don't know why, we don't know how, we're trying to figure this out. Yeah, so here's a bunch of other King in Blacks. So you see a bunch of other Venom symbiote looking dudes. One of them is like a fucking mealy mouth praying to the dude with the big horns on his head that's been given all this information. It's like, I am here to learn from you. And the guy just goes like, fuck off, asshole. Like, legitimately, it's just like, if you actually, like, you are to do what as I say, just do what I tell you, fuck off, don't bother me.
Yeah.
There's another guy who's blue, who doesn't have eyes, who's just like, yeah, yo, I'm not gonna say he's bullshit right out in front, but this guy's bullshit, he's kind of bullshit, fuck him. And then we see a couple of other characters, and Eddie's just learning about all this kind of stuff, and he's going like, what the fuck? Okay, I need to figure out how to get to Dylan, all this kind of stuff. And the guy with the horns is like, yeah, no. All the while, in his narration, he goes like, oh man, I fucking hate these guys. They're assholes. They're pieces of shit. Fuck them. They're fucking primitives. Who the fuck are they? Especially fucking Eddie Brock. Fuck Eddie Brock. I hate Eddie Brock. You know what? Eddie Brock has made me so angry. I'm gonna go back in time to the very first issue when the one Venom symbiote started killing everybody. I'm gonna possess that Venom symbiote and just kill everybody to fuck over Eddie Brock.
Wow.
And then I'm gonna go to Earth and pretend to be Eddie Brock and talk to Dylan and wake him up and tell him to go to the hotel so he can watch his dad die. Ha ha ha. Fuck him.
Wow.
Just like pure fucking dickery.
Yeah,
So,
what a douche.
Yeah, what a complete and utter douche. So that's who we're dealing with.
Sick.
Yeah. But that's about it. It's good.
Nice.
And then I read Thor, God of Hammers.
Nice.
Basically...
Oh man, did they... I just realized they fucking turned that fucking joke from Ragnarok into a thing.
Yeah. Even more so once I explain what happens in this issue. So basically, Thor is fighting the living embodiment of Mjolnir, and all of his friends come to help him. And he's like, "All right, cool, my friends," and they're all trying to do it. And Thor's just going like, "Guys, we got to figure this out. I don't know what's going on." And throughout the fight, Odin takes a big old blast and protects Thor from it. And Thor goes like, "Dad, why did you do this?" Like, there's also bits where like they re-retcon that Thor's real mother is Gaia, not the Phoenix Force. Thank you, Cates.
His mom was the Phoenix Force at one point?
Yeah, in the fucking Avengers run that's going on right now.
What the fuck, Jason?
Yeah, it's Gaia. Again, it's Gaia.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't it? How long has his mom not been Frigga?
Early 2000s?
Wow.
It's been a while. It may have been earlier. It may have been 90s. I think it might have been the 90s.
Wow.
So he was using like Earth powers and all that kind of stuff, and it's like, whoa, you can do the Earth stuff because your mom. But Odin takes this big blast, and Thor's going like, fuck, Dad, why? And Odin just looks up at Thor and goes like, kid, I gave you the Odin Force because I knew you could be king.
Fucking Odin Force.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
I know. Sorry. I have no right to complain. I come from the fucking morphing grid.
And he looks up at Thor and goes like, but here's the thing. I've been holding back. Because in order for you to have everything, I can't be here anymore. Dad, don't. No. I love you, son. dies and gives Thor the complete power of Odin.
Hmm.
So Thor is now regaled in golden armor and is ready to fight Mjolnir, the god of
Oh,
hammers.
so he's Kingdom Come Wonder Womaning it?
Yeah. Golden armor Thor, full regalia. It is just like badass. It's good. Good
Sick.
Thor. Good Thor. Hey, speaking of the morphing grid, tell me about the Altarian War in Power Rangers issue 16.
Okay, so this is basically a wrap-up issue. We get a lot of like just settling stuff and getting characters to certain places. Like, there's a final conversation between Zordon and Zed, and then we see some of the minor characters who were on the side of the Altarians finally surrendering and going like, "Yeah, fuck it, we'll be human prisoners, whatever."
A real human prisoner.
The Omega Rangers kind of muse about like, oh man, we finally got our Megazord working and it immediately got destroyed. That sucks. Oh well. And then Draken's like, yeah, it does suck. Anyway, I'm going off to deep space. Bye, bitches. And
I'll be back later.
Yeah, and he has a cute little exchange with Trini where she's like, you know, we all know we all know you helped for a reason. There's still good in you. ... Tommy. And he's like, that's dumb. Bye.
My name is Tomothy. Thank you.
Yeah. It's Lord Draken, Mom. That's what it says on my MySpace.
No, it says XXX Lord Draken XXX.
Yeah.
Ooh woo.
And then we get rid of Zordon's dumb robot body by saying like they can't maintain the integrity of it after it sustained all that damage in the fight with Zed and Zartus. So he's gonna have to go back in the tube. But before that, there's something he's always wanted to do, and he goes and does it, and it's we get a beautiful panel of him watching the sunrise from on top of a Megazord and crying. Because it's so beautiful. The blue emissary goes off into deep space as well to try and reconnect with the Morphin Masters and potentially pick new emissaries, which could be interesting. The Rangers are now going to be setting up shop in a abandoned alternate Promethea base, so that's a thing, I guess. And Squat, Babu, Finster, and Goldar all go back to work for Zed, even though they're given the choice of either doing that or going and hanging out on the community planet the Omega Rangers were building. And we get a little bit more on them in a minute. But first, we have to resolve that the OC girlfriend for Skull, who turned out to be an Altarian, she goes and tells him the truth and is like, "Hey, do you want to come back to Eltar with me?" And he's like, "I barely fucking know you." And she's like, "Yeah, I thought so. But let's kiss and make the shippers happy." And so that happens, and then the final couple pages of the book are the minions all going back to Zed and re-swearing their loyalty, and him being like, "Well, it's a good thing y'all came back, because you better grab the last of your belongings. The palace is destroyed, but I've got plans, and they don't involve my helmet. I'm leaving my helmet in the destroyed palace." Dun dun dun. So we're gonna get a boomified Lord Zed original design probably when we see him next time, which will make Buster so happy.
I mean, isn't this Buster's favorite comic?
Oh yeah. Buster loves this book. It's their absolute favorite.
Yeah.
But no, this was okay. This is fine rank book.
Hey.
Tell
me about the Buttman.
Yeah, Nightwing number
89.
Yes,
I love how you immediately knew I was talking about Nightwing with just the words Buttman.
I was also watching your camera, so I can see you pull up the slideshow. But no, this is great.
You don't get to see. No, you don't get to see. Fuck you. Back and forth. Did
a George McFly laugh there. But no, this is great because Tom Taylor is writing both fucking. Stop! It's the moment has passed. Tom Taylor is writing both books, so it feels like a perfectly natural crossover. Um, and like both books have been building towards this. Because it opens with a flashback actually to like New 52-ish times. Batman is wearing the what I consider the early Tom King costume, but it was designed by Greg Capullo. And Nightwing's in his dumb red New 52 costume. And they're like diving into a tropical forest, and they're talking about tracking something, and we don't know what they're tracking. And then they start going into this cave, and then boom, laser vision, and they have to duck out. And Batman's just like, "What happened?" And Nightwing goes, "What happened? The kid is hiding in a cave, and a giant bat showed up. He got scared, Bruce. Take off your mask." And so they go in. And for the first time in a long time, we see little like 10-year-old John Kent just hiding in this cave, and they're like, we're friends of your dad's. We work with him. It's fine. We're here to help you. Oh, and Bruce just goes, "Superman, we found him," and he's right there. Grabs his son, hugs him tight, and he's like, "You scared me so much." And he's like, "I'm sorry. I flew, and I know you told me not to fly at night, but I just wanted to get some stuff out of my mind, and then I couldn't figure out where home was, and I got lost." And like they're clearly both really upset, and Bruce is calling off the search, and Dick just goes like, "Hey John, you want to know something cool? Right next to smoke pellets in his utility belt, Batman has lollipops." So he hands him a lollipop, and he's like, "You feeling better? You okay, buddy? You want to watch me juggle?" And so there's like a cute bonding moment between them, and then we also get like a great dad moment between Clark and Bruce of like, "Hey, thanks for helping me out. Yeah, you've had to track down your fair share of Robins. Do you ever stop worrying about them?" He's like, "No, but it gets easier to deal with this kind of stuff. Don't worry." Then we cut forward to the present, and we see John trying to talk to hologram Clark in the fortress after what happened in the last issue of Superman, and clearly it's just not doing a lot for him. And he's like, I don't know. If I can't have the real thing, I think I'd prefer to solitude. And Garax sees him, and we cut over to Bloodhaven, and Barbara and Dick are in bed together, and Barbara sits up, and she's like, "Dick, a robot is petting your dog." And he just, without thinking about it, throws a baton in Garax's direction. Garax catches it and says, I'm trying to get to the panel. "Mr. Grayson, you drop this fast in my direction." It's a really solid little exchange because they just move right on from it, and he's like, "Garax, why are you here? You're Superman's robot." And he's like, "Superman misses his dad, and you promised his dad that you'd be like a mentor to him while his dad was gone. What the fuck?" And he's like, "Oh shit, you're right. I totally did promise that. I should have checked up on him by then." And Barbara's like, "Well, to be fair, you have had a lot going on." And he's like, "But it's Superman. Superman asked me to check on his kid, and I didn't. Fuck, I gotta do that."
And like Superman gave him the name Nightwing, didn't he?
Yeah, and like Superman has always been Dick Grayson's favorite superhero. That's canon from like back in the 40s. So like we then cut over and we see an obscure Teen Titans character called Risk getting murdered by the Rising. And that's like a non sequitur scene for a minute, but we then catch up with John and Jay. See that they're being cute and they're working together. There's a great scene where Jay, or a great moment where Jay is like, "I have a meeting with the Rising's top donor." And he's like, "Oh, who's that?" "Lex Luthor." What? "I'm joking, but your face was priceless." But no, they go to meet the guy on a ship in the middle of the ocean. And, hey, it's Dick Grayson. Because remember, Dick Grayson's super rich now because he has inheritance from Alfred.
Yeah.
And they have a little conversation about what's going on, but two heroes show up and inform them about the death of the obscure Teen Titans character, and it's like, oh, clearly this is important for you guys, and you have to take care of this. We can pick up our meeting later. And he starts walking away, and he just goes, "Superman, I know it's you. Meet me in Metropolis, and we'll deal with this." And he's like, and it cuts to later, and they're in costume, and he's like, "How did you know it was me?" Because I'm a detective and I wear a domino mask for a living, so I'm trained to be able to see for one. Also, you don't change your body posture at all. Maybe take a cue from your dad on that one.
What do you mean? I've never noticed that. He slumps all the time.
Your dad practically has a hunchback when he's not in costume. Come on.
Really? I mean, I've always just looked up at him. Oh, I was short.
Yeah. But no, they start investigating this character's death, and they talk to Oracle, and it turns out, like, oh, somebody's killing off a lot of random obscure heroes. What is going on? Oh, hey, one of John's visions can track this mysterious power trail from the scene of the crime. Let's do that. Oh, fuck, Luther's behind this. To be continued next issue.
Dum-ba-bum-bum. Is it good?
Yeah. Very good. Very solid issue.
That's good. Hey, you want to know? Do you want to know what we got to talk about? Want to know what you got to fucking tell me about?
What?
Fucking tell me about Batman the Knight.
All right, so I'm going to propose an idea to you, and I just want you to give me your gut reaction.
Okay.
What if Catwoman was a blonde French MILF?
See, here's the thing. The blonde part of that just makes me think is a you thing. But then but then you say MILF, and I go like, Connor?
I don't even know who you're talking about there, but no, I'm not into MILFs.
No, Connor! MILF Connor!
Oh, yeah! No, this is totally a Connor-ass character, because what's going on here is Bruce is in Paris, and he's feeling all mopey, because he's like, I just got better than the greatest fencer in the world in 2 weeks. Maybe I'm too good. Where am I going to find some real teachers? Ugh, life sucks. And then he just happens to see across the street...
Suffering from success!
Yeah. And then across the street, he just happens to see this blonde woman committing a burglary in, like, full cat burglar regalia. And then we see the next day he deduces, like, oh, this is this, like, famous cat burglar who had done a string of burglaries a couple months ago and was never caught. Maybe it's not that she stopped. Maybe she just got really good. And then she comes up to him in street clothes and is like, hey, what's up, you little bitch? Did you have fun watching me last night? You want to be my student? Come be my student, you little bitch. Rich boy bitch. And he's like, oh, fuck, that's hot.
Why does this sound like the fucking plot to a Dojin?
Because it kind of is.
This is a plot to a fucking... This is the plot to, like, a Black Lagoon Dojin.
Yeah. So he goes and trains under her, and it's pretty standard Batman training, but it's cool, and it's, like, punctuated by this inner monologue of just, like, I'm learning to fight criminals by being a criminal. There's something fucked up about this. What the fuck is wrong with me? Mom, Dad, what am I doing? And you can also see, like, he's slowly falling for this woman, because she's not that much older than him, but she's, like, 8 years older than him, and she's even though
she's not a MILF, she's an Oni-san.
Yeah, and even though he's richer than her,
yeah,
like, she's more refined than him. And so he finds that attractive. And they go on, like, a full-blown mission together, and he fucks it up a little and gets shot by a policeman. And she's stitching him up, and like, they have a really tender moment after she finishes, and he kisses her, and she's like, oh, no. No, that's not what this is. That's cute and flattering, but no. I'm gonna go get a drink. And she goes in the other room, and, like, this murderer we've also been hearing about, there's a serial killer in Paris in the background of the issue. There's been, like, some scenes with detectives punctuating it. he just shows up with her, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna fucking kill this girl if you don't give me what you want, what I want, Bruce Wayne," and that's the to be continued.
Mm.
So like, this is solid, but it's not as interesting as the first issue was, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, comics.
Yeah, that's all my comics.
That's all my comics. That's the last book.
Oh shit! Okay, I had more books this week. That's unusual.
Yeah. So overall, good.
Pretty solid week. Nothing that outright pissed me off this week. But yeah.
Yep. But next week we're in the lull between Peacemaker and Moon Knight.
And I'll probably talk about the Batman when it drops.
But in the meantime, next week we're gonna do a little Book of Boba Fett kind of wrap up podcast. So we're gonna get any of our buddies who have been watching Book of Boba Fett who want to come on, talk about it. Then we'll talk about the comics and news of the week for next
Sunday
week.
night snow cone special.
And hopefully, we'll just keep watching Earth's Mightiest Heroes up till the Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And of course, the prerequisite Batman report from our resident Distinguished competition.
Here's my insane drastic you won't believe number 3 shocked me prediction. It'll probably be good.
Fair enough. And then then I'm just gonna lose my ever loving mind because fucking Moon Knight's adapted. Because
let's go get our money from Dracula.
Go back to 2012 and tell a Marvel fan, yo, by the way, this is gonna be so successful. One day you're gonna see live on screen the Black Knight, Moon Knight, the Eternals, and Shang-Chi.
Honestly, I think the Eternals is still the most shocking out of any of them.
And a good Eternals adaptation, like.
Yeah. Good in that it was still polarizing.
Here's the thing. That's the only way you can do Eternals. Realistically, is if half the population goes like, it's a little fucking heady and weird, and then the other half goes like, this is utter complete nonsense. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then there's me, that one little tiny sliver goes like, yeah. Fucking Eternals.
Oddly enough, I think I was kind of in there, but not in the no comic book fan way, but in like, oh, this is the most hard sci-fi thing I've seen in a long time. I kind of dig it for that.
Also, there was a lot of fans of Bollywood cinema going like, yo, there's a lot of fun Bollywood references here. They went over my head, but like, I'm happy that they saw something that they were invested in be represented in a big budget Hollywood movie.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Eternals podcast number 5 from us.
It's almost as if I like really weird Marvel shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not gonna happen, but what if fucking Sleepwalker shows up at Moon Knight?
I don't think he'll be in Moon Knight, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets like a Disney Plus show at some point.
Sleepwalker, man. What if he shows up at Midnight Suns, though?
If they announce a Sleepwalker anything for the MCU, we should start a campaign to get you a cameo.
Certified biggest Streetwalker fan on the internet. Fight me. Fight me.
You know, I was so deflated the other day because I went in a Target and they had a couple figures from the wave, but they didn't have Sleepwalker. And I was like, I wanted to get that figure just to be like, hey, look what I have, bitch.
Fuck you and me not having money.
I'll give him to you at the summit.
But that is it for this week of the No Price Podcast. Hey, V-Boy.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make videos about Tokusatsu and action figures. I have a video about Tokusatsu and action figures that's in post-production right now. It'll probably be out by the end of the month, so go subscribe to me and watch it at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. You can also follow me on twitter.com @thevacuuminator to see me tweet and twat about every little thing that pops in my head. And I'm on Instagram @the_vacuuminator, posting photos of action figures and dogs. So yeah, go follow me there.
Whoa! Hey, the howdies. I'm Chris A. Boyer, Gaston. I make a variety of content on the internet. Hey, would you like me to watch me streams at twitch.tv/BoingoWriter? Would you like to see me on TikTok, Twitter, and the Instagram @Boingo_writer? I post a variety of content everywhere, including YouTube, where I do video essays and editorials. So subscribe to me on YouTube. You can always do that. Hey, ho. Do you like this podcast? Yo, guess what? You can't follow us on any podcasting platform. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like and comment on this video. Any other words you want to say?
Eat peace, motherfucker.
Enough said.